What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. Me and Prime usually do the midweek wrestling war. NXT taking on AEW. And this week, they had promoted the Brian Kendrick was just leaving WWE. And the next day, he was going to wrestle Jon Moxley on AEW. And then all of a sudden, at the 11th hour, Tony Khan pulls Brian Kendrick. And everybody's like, well, what the hell's going on? And he put him in with, what was his name prior for the Best Friends? You know,
Willer Yuta.
Yeah, really Yuta, yeah. Put him with Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley beats McCall today. And I was confused, too. I was like, wasn't Brian Kendrick on the show? Because Brian was texting me like, yo, if it's going to be Keith Lee, I'll trade everybody for them points. And I was just like, I don't think it's going to be Keith Lee. I'll get married right now. But I said, but he'll be there eventually. Hold on. So,
a word?
I think he will, but Tony Khan would be stupid not to get Keith Lee over this roster.
No. I meant about the married part.
Oh, yeah, him. You see the picture online? Him and him got married.
Good for them.
They are yamless. And Mick Foley officiated the wedding.
Oh, Mick Foley. Yo, I'm so paranoid on Ric Flair. If I just hear anything close to Rick, I'm like, what the hell is he doing there?
No,
Mick Foley. Nah, that's dope. That's dope.
Mick Foley. Sean was it was a nice wedding. It was dope.
That's a big ass suit, Jesus.
You see,
big ass blue suit.
That's a big. That joint was tailor made to be limitless. So Brian Kendrick was pulled, and come to find out, Brian Kendrick was pulled because this man is a nut, and
yo, that's what happens when you go to AEW. The people just search all the way back to your backlog.
And there have been some offensive comments in the past made by Brian Kendrick in a statement, and Tony Khan had to come out and say, we've been made aware of the offensive comments made in the past by Brian Kendrick, and there's no room in AEW for the views expressed by Brian. We think it's best for all that Brian be pulled from tonight's card as he gather more info. And everybody was like, well, what's going on? And so this man is a conspiracy nut. And before I get into that, because look, it's always fun to play with conspiracy theories, but there are just some there are some line crosses. I'm sorry, there are. And he said some offensive and hurtful things about the September 11th attack, the Sandy Hook shooting.
Oh
God! Calling the Sandy Hook shooting bullshit, and it was meant to start a civil war. And the Holocaust was overblown, even to the point that Michael Jackson faked his own death. These are the things that be toxic. Or look, there have been conspiracies like, who killed John F. Kennedy? You know, who really killed Martin Luther King Jr.? There are different conspiracies. You know, UFOs and aliens, stuff like that. The cover up.
Yo, I have a question.
Yeah.
Did they do a drug test? This sounds like crack.
I don't know if they did a drug test, but it got bad to the point where his wife said that she tunes him out. And
that's hilarious.
And his tag team partner and Paul London, somebody tweeted, said that with all these anti-Semitic comments, I wonder how Paul London feels about this. I'm pretty sure Paul London was Jewish. And Paul London, he said, I wonder why, this is why Paul London and Brian Kendrick don't talk anymore. And just comes to find out, Paul London creeps out of hiding and likes to tweet. So it must have been some things between them. And, yeah. So I really want to get y'all thoughts on, you know, your honest opinion. of how Tony Khan handled this and what you think of Brian Kendrick's comments. He did come out with a statement to apologize on his Instagram page, which is something that he had to do regardless. So he came out with
that. That's just damage control. But like,
yeah, and saying that these were not my thoughts. These are not my beliefs and stuff like that. And then I have to live with this, for the scar for the rest of my life and stuff like that. That's basically what he was saying in his apology. But let me get your thoughts, Q.
Well, again, if he's right, it's not his thoughts. That's the crack. That's how crack works.
No, it's not. It's not. It wasn't a one-time incident.
It wasn't a one-time incident.
Oh, no, it was like over. No, it was like over like years.
Oh,
remember, I say everything from 9/11 to Sandy Hook to
yeah. I know. I thought.
Oh, you thought he had just did a podcast or something?
No. See, Prime, you threw me off because I thought you were saying like on 9/11, he was saying 9/11 was fake. During Sandy Hook, he was saying. I thought you were saying that. He just did a rant, didn't he?
No, it was just like it was like different instances of him talking about stuff.
Okay. So what?
So he did crack it every single time he talked.
Yeah, I was about to say. It had to be drugs or something because that's preposterous. But I will say, I didn't know. So I knew he was in trouble, right?
Yeah.
And when I joined this podcast today, I was ready to go on a tirade because I thought it was racist crap. I really thought he just I thought he did a racist rant. I'm saying, like, what did he do? I don't even want to read. I want to wait. I want them to get my fresh reaction. Because I thought it was racism. So I'm saying, like, here we go. I'm about to get him. But no, he's on his conspiracy type time. And I really think there were drugs involved. Or maybe alcohol.
But you know what? But here's the thing, though. Actually, because I just learned. So, in a way, there was racism stuff. Because a lot of time, a lot of time when people hear racism, they think black and white, and they forget about, racism to other races such as Hispanics, Asians, and Jews. And I would be pissed also if somebody told me that slavery was overblown. That what the fuck are we complaining about? It wasn't that bad for our ancestors. I would be upset. So I would expect the Jewish people to be upset also if he comes out and says the Holocaust was bullshit or if it was overblown. So that is considered, having a racist thought.
Yeah.
So I just want to put that out because sometimes if it ain't a black and white thing, people don't want to say racism. It's all racist. Racism is about power, and we know what race has the power at the top of the food chain. So that's the problem. So when you have those kind of that's a racist comment to me about over 6 million Jews lost their lives in the Holocaust. Men, women, and children broken up from their families, just like we were broken up from Africa in slavery. That's just a wrong comment to make. And it's just dumb and stupid to even have those kind of comments come out when the history and the facts are there. And when you have all this Illuminati bullshit coming at you, and then how dare you talk about somebody who lost their child in a school shooting?
Right.
This whole first of all, I never understood the whole Sandy Hook conspiracy in the fucking first place. But I was just like, no, this kid deserves all the punishment and all the damnation to hell that he can get for killing them little kids. They did not, them innocent kids. They're kids. 26 of them died for no reason. Like I don't even want to imagine have to bury my child that young. Hell no. So you ain't gonna come out your mouth and say some bullshit like that. Like what the fuck you get off even thinking some shit like that? People, it's easy for people to think this shit when they're not affected by this shit, or they ain't got a heart enough to be affected by this shit.
Right.
And that's the kind of thing. But I didn't mean to cut you off, but you can go ahead.
Oh no, I'm done. I'm done. I was honestly just being a smartass because I'm pretty sure he wasn't on drugs, but it just sounds like it's drug related. So
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying.
How about you, Prime?
I'm just glad that they fired him, and you know, I mean, I don't know what he gonna do now. I kind of don't really care. Not to say that I'm to be mean or not, but it's like, would he have made a good addition? Sure, whatever. But it's like, you know, he's going. Sure, okay, move on. I'm moving on from this.
I mean, well,
that's how I feel about it. It's like, okay, he's gonna learn. I'm pretty sure he's gonna try to go to sensitivity training or whatever, or maybe his wife tried to put him in there, and that's why she just tones him out. So we don't know.
I was saying, but I don't think he comes back to AEW.
No, not at all.
The two major companies, he burned bridges with them. They ain't gonna bring that man back.
Well, he didn't burn bridges with WWE. He just wanted to wrestle. So
I'm saying, but right now, after that came out, they're not gonna bring him back.
They bring Ric Flair back every day, so he'll probably be fine.
Ric Flair. Every time Ric Flair comes back, there's no allegation, but when the allegation comes back, they get rid of Ric Flair. It's a cycle.
But they get rid of Ric Flair, and then they wait till the allegations cool down, then they be like, all right, you can come back. Yeah, you can come back to Saudi.
You come on now. You know Brian Kendrick is not the guy that WWE dumps, so I'll wait for the shit to cool down. They don't give a fuck.
Well, that is true.
They will. I will say this right now. WWE will bring back Velveteen Dream before they bring back the Brian Kendrick.
Well, if they bring back Brian Kendrick, he's not going to come back to wrestle. Obviously, like he was only a producer, and he didn't want to be a producer.
You know,
or a trainer.
He's not doing any of that shit. I'm sorry. He's not coming back. He may have to go to NWA Power or wherever the case may be. But yeah, this thing is. Especially
he might just go back to his school and just say whatever. Start training people again.
Whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? He fucked up, and that's on him. And I don't feel sorry for him.
I don't either.
So you know,
I don't feel sorry enough to I don't even care about talking about him on the show. I'm like, okay, sure, he got fired, he messed up, sure. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just the bad one here.
No, you're not. Okay, look. You keep saying this, probably. You're not the bad one, and don't anybody.
Well, not the bad one, but maybe I'm just because I don't want to say I don't care about Brian Kendrick or nothing like that. I don't care, but he messed up.
I know what you're saying, bro.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I get it, but I do know there's people out there that want us to talk about it. So, you know what I'm saying, we're going to have an opinion about it. And whether it be uncomfortable or not, you know what I'm saying, I try to be there for the people that want to hear us talk about it. You know? So, that's the kind of, I'm dedicated to the channel. So that's the kind of responsibility I have. I put on, because if some shit, breaks down, especially with our people, I'm going to talk about it. And I'm going to talk about anybody else who feels marginalized or feels any kind of pain. Like I said, it may not affect y'all as the same way it's going to affect me, because I live differently. Like I said, anybody talks about the Satan Hook bullshit, I'm just like, stop that. Kids die. You got to have kids to know what it feels like, to be responsible for somebody that comes out of you, and then on top of that, to lose somebody like that. That's a pain that I never want to feel in my life, and I pray that I don't. And it sucks that people got to still hear this shit relentlessly. It's not fair. There's people that still say slavery's blown out of proportion. They try to teach that in schools.
That's ridiculous.
You should hear some of the rules they got for Black History Month in some of these southern schools. And I'm like, you can't be serious. Did you know that they're actually trying to make it seem like you can talk about Jackie Robinson bringing the color barrier, but you can't talk about why blacks couldn't be in the MLB? How?
Don't get me started on the MLB.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, but how you teach anybody that way? Because they don't. If they don't want you to do that you're trying to hide the story because of how trash you are. This is the way it is. So, but yeah, so he was pulled from the show. Moxley, beat Yuri just relatively easily, and that's what happened. So yeah, I think he's done. I'm not gonna wish it back. I mean, he fuck. It's on him. You know what I'm saying? He'll show up somewhere, some indie type of thing like that. But like you said, he gotta live with that. You said it. You did it. You gotta live all that shit because those things are not cool to fucking say.
Right.
At all. So.
Hey man, yeah. Look, what they say? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Win stupid prizes. You damn.